Today I'm here with Poorna, mostly known as PG, and we are at the Wellness Day event. And I'd like to ask him why do we hold such events and what is the purpose behind it?
Thanks, Uthsara. Let me start by saying a special word of thanks to you and Varuna, who's doing this film, and for the prominent role you are playing, because it gives me great pride as a Sri Lankan to see how well settled students and the alumni of Plymouth are in this country. We got to 100 people from all kinds of nationalities out there. And the whole purpose of the Wellness Day is to approach life in its entirety, to consider our normal day-to-day life and see how we can improve our well-being without relying entirely on, for instance, things like medication and so on. We are all well and unwell to varying degrees, but it doesn't prevent us from being individuals. And the important element here is that the University of Plymouth is doing its best to become one of the most engaged universities in the country. And by the word engaged, we emphasize the fact that a university's basic job is education. And education is enshrined as a basic human right in Article 26 of the United Nations Human Rights Charter. But just last year, there was a new declaration by UNESCO, which is the educational arm of the United Nations, which said they want to expand that concept of education being a human right, for education, it being a right for people to have access to quality education at all stages of life. The Article 26 of the Human Rights Charter enshrines that everybody has a right to education. But the recent publication from UNESCO, which was a result of consultation of over 1 million professionals over a period of 2 years, called Reimaging the Future Together, says that we should expand that human right to say that everybody should have access to quality education at all stages of life. And that brings us to the question what education is. Education to me is learning to live a productive life, using the best of our innate skills, developing the best values, and being the best versions of what we can be, rather than fitting into somebody else's definition of what perfection is. So in order to do that, we must embed ourselves in the community, because our value, our day-to-day living is experienced in the community. And in order to do that, we need to engage with the community. And to do that, it's not a matter of us just saying we want to work with you or something. It's a matter of saying we need to learn from you. We need to have an exchange of knowledge. And we need to give opportunities for voices that we have not heard before due to all kinds of reasons, to express themselves, to hear of values, customs, beliefs, and understand their basis, and try to understand how that perspective fits into their life, so that we can understand the value of our own. If we can't appreciate ourselves, we can never appreciate the beauty of someone else. It means that we have to place a value on every single person. And what is particularly worrying to me in this particular day and age is this concept that some external authority can actually tell us what degree is more valuable than the other. That is the right of choice. It is almost by stating this degree is of more value than the other, we are almost demeaning the society, because we are all training ourselves, whether we go to university or not, to lead a productive life and lead it in the field of our choice. We may not always have the power to choose, but at least we have the power to make the best use of the opportunities and see people from all backgrounds are joining and showing bringing what they believe is of use to them and how they could help us grow within their belief systems. And by doing that, we are celebrating the individuality. And that is the essence of what we are trying to do. We are trying to say that this is a universal city where the right to education is celebrated. And that celebration comes from recognizing the inner self of every individual. And I'm so excited, which is why I started by saying I'm so happy to see 2 Sri Lankans and 3 more outside there who are so passionate about this. Because we have our own values, we have our own practices. And of course, having lived in a different system for so long, we may have, our own values might be different to one another. But yet, if we come from a position to say, I respect where you come from, and that is the only way I would expect you to respect me, that is the start we need to do. So this whole project is about embedding that. And we are doing it through this amazing organization called Global Plymouth, which you have done so much for. And the idea of Global Plymouth is to ensure that the staff, the students of the university, and the community of wider Plymouth come together as one family. And we work for each other, and we work in the spirit of empowerment. This Will is part of Global Plymouth, and he brings his expertise in audio-visual technology, and is helping us create this amazing event. And it's being done on a zero budget. The university has been phenomenal in helping us, but I got to mention 4 organizations: the Wellness and the Wellbeing Initiative, the Mindful Art Club, and the Plymouth Octopus Project, and the University of the Third Age. They all sent their volunteers, they brought their stalls, so many individuals doing so many things together and telling us we are good enough to be what we are, and we are ready to reach out and celebrate that. So that, to me, Uthsara, is the essence of this project. It is to say that we are unique, and that uniqueness deserves to be celebrated. And if we are truly a universal city, we shall reach out and help others celebrate their uniqueness as much as we celebrate our own.
Thank you very much for your description of this event, and we hope to have many more as such. Thank you.